All right, what's up? My name is Leonidas from PPCBasic.com. And in this tutorial, I'm going to show you how to create pay-per-call campaigns and generate call leads using Google Ads. So this tutorial is mostly for beginners, but as well, you might find some useful advice for more advanced advertisers. This is the outline that we're going to cover in our tutorial today. I'm going to cover a frequently asked question and a recommendation that I would suggest going for 2020. I'm going to quickly show you how to create an account and skip the basics and go straight into the expert settings if this is your very first time. We're going to create a campaign and set up the settings. I'm going to briefly cover audiences. We're going to cover how to design keywords in Google Ads and the most appropriate way, especially when you're starting out. We're going to design our ads, and I'm going to show you how to do keyword insertion. We're going to cover the phone verification page that we need in order to verify our campaign with Google. I'm going to show you the interactive voice response system that you need to put into effect for Google to validate your business and make sure that they don't suspend you. After our campaign is finished, I'm going to show you where to look for the search queries that people that have clicked on your ad typed into Google. And then I'm going to show you where to put negative keywords and which negative keywords that I would recommend when starting out. And then we're going to go into the performance overview. So the columns that you need to look at in order to assess the success of your campaigns, and then ultimately a review. So a frequently asked question and a recommendation that I like to make is pay-per-call still viable in 2020? And I would say absolutely yes. But at the same time, I recommend pay-per-call primarily for agencies that are generating leads for actual businesses. So whether they're small, medium, or large, I would recommend to highly stay away from affiliate offers. So if you intend to run through an affiliate network where they typically run things such as shady travel offers or even tech support offers or anything that's associated with loans and things like these, where on the back end they typically try to do something very gray hat, very shady, then I would highly recommend avoiding running affiliate offers. But if you're intending to generate leads for a business, whether it's in the United States, in Canada, Australia, or anywhere in Europe that supports pay-per-call, then this is a highly, highly viable and profitable business going into 2020 and into the future. But once again, avoid running affiliate offers because most of them are typically kind of shady. All right, so once you first log into Google Ads and you create your account, this could potentially be the first screen that you see. It will show you three options: get more calls, get more website sales, or visits to your location. Because we're gonna skip right over this, we're gonna go ahead and click on the bottom here, switch to expert mode. And then we're gonna actually skip this part initially, which allows you to create the campaign. And we're gonna go ahead and create an account without a campaign. And then we're gonna have to confirm our business information. So go ahead and set up your billing country. And make sure to set your time zone according to the time zone that is most appropriate to you. So whatever is the most relevant, because this will be relevant later on when we set up our pay-per-call campaigns. And congratulations, you're done. Explore your account. So that process might change over time because Google Ads constantly updates. But once you log in, this is your initial interface, and we just want to go straight into campaigns. All right, so this is your campaign screen, and we're gonna go ahead and click the plus sign to create our first campaign. All right, so here are the options for the types of campaigns that you could potentially make. You have sales, leads, website traffic, etc. We'll hit leads. We'll go into search. We're gonna create a search campaign. This is when someone types something into Google, your advertisement will show up, and then we'll select phone calls. For the phone number, we're going to put our phone number. So this phone number is verified on my website, as well as it has a interactive voice response system that I'm going to show you later on. We'll hit continue. For our campaign, I'm going to do PPCBasic, which is the name, call, and then we're going to do a simple divorce lawyer. So for most of my tutorials, I like to use this example because I've generated so many phone calls for divorce law in the past. And then we're going to select our networks. So in this case, we can leave search partners, which I usually deselected in the past. Show more settings. Everything here is good to go. For location, We can enter our location where we want to target. So we can type in either New York, right? And keep going through the list, or we can do an advanced search. And then we can add locations in bulk. So we can actually type in certain zip codes. So we'll do a couple random zip codes in the US. I don't know if these actually exist or not. So to assess whether they exist, we can do search. And you can see that only one of them actually exists. So we'll do a target. And then of course, you can type in also cities. So Los Angeles, Seattle, and then we'll do search. They exist. So we'll do target all, and they're added to our list as well. So we'll do New York City as the last one. They're target all. So we're targeting not only the state, but also the city itself. And then we'll hit save. Under location options, we want to select people in or regularly in our target location. This prevents our ad from showing up in other countries. So this is a big mistake that many advertisers make. They select people searching for our target location as well. And I've seen US ads in other countries so many times because I've done so much traveling, and is really bad. So make sure you select this option right here. Languages, you can select whatever language you want. If you target Spanish customers, you can put in Spanish. Under audience, all right, you can type in your keyword that you plan to target, and you can see whether Google has grouped certain people that have searched in the past into those particular audiences. Now, if someone is in a certain age range and they have a certain income, then Google has probably assessed them to be in the audiences for estate planning. Or perhaps someone runs a business and they've done tax searches in the past, so therefore they're someone that's interested in tax services. Now, someone who's perhaps looking for a divorce lawyer, perhaps they need estate planning and tax services. They obviously won't need a legal job because that's not what they're looking for. And you can continue going down. Perhaps they need financial services as well. So the difference between targeting and observation means that the person can fall into any one of these groups, but they don't necessarily have to be associated with one of these groups, and Google will still show your ad. But if they are in one of these groups, it will show you how many people within these groups have clicked on your ad. If you select targeting, then only people in these groups will see your ad. They don't have to be mutually inclusive. They don't have to be in all three groups. They can be in 1, 2, or 3, but otherwise they will only show if they fall into these groups. When you first start off, I recommend you simply do observation, and better yet, you can actually select all of these groups just to see what converts best for you. So select all of them, and we'll see what Google shows us converts very highly for us as far as audiences are concerned. For budget, when you start off, I really recommend doing $5 if you're a complete beginner, so you don't blow through your budget and you start adding negative keywords into the future. But if you're professional and you have a pretty established keyword list, then I recommend doing $20. So in this case, we'll find a good medium, which is going to be $10. Under bidding, we'll leave it at clicks. So in the past, I would select manual CPC or maximize CPC. But in this case, because Google keeps changing their algorithm and it keeps getting better and better, we'll simply select clicks and then set a maximum cost per click of $1. So this is the maximum that someone will pay when they click on your ad. But it won't necessarily mean that's how much budget Google will use. Sometimes they will use $12, $13, or even $14 of your budget per day, even though you only selected 10. So just be careful. If they use more than what you typically want, then you can actually set it down to $7 and they might still potentially use $10. But in this case, we'll simply leave it at $10. Under show more settings, here you can see that there's already conversion in place, but I'm going to explain how to set that up later. And then under add schedule, this is when your call center is working or your business is working. So we'll do Monday to Friday. We'll do 9 a.m. Select 9 a.m. down here until the typical 5 p.m. So obviously these hours are associated with your particular business. So when I ran these types of ads for a friend of mine who's in the construction business, he would gladly accept calls from anywhere from 10 a.m. until 9 p.m. at night because construction leads were very, very high paying. All he simply had to do was speak on the phone with the customer and the customer converted based on what he proposed. Call out extensions are just extra text that Google Ads can add underneath your ad if you're in first or second place. So we'll do new call out extension, and then we'll do professional advice. And then we can do 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. consultation. Okay, these are just extra little tidbits about your business that someone might want to know before they click on your ad, and they're just shown on your advertisement for free that people can read, and it might add a little bit of extra conversion. So we'll hit save and continue, and then under ad groups, so this is our divorce law ad group. Okay, we're gonna name it something very basic, and I like to do plus divorce plus lawyer plus divorce plus attorney plus divorce plus law plus divorce plus barrister. Okay, so if someone types your query into Google, as long as these two keywords are in the search query, then your advertisement will show up. It doesn't matter which order, so it can be someone that types in lawyer who deals with divorce, or attorney who deals with divorce, or I need to know about divorce law, so your advertisement will show up. If you want to be very specific in the exact order that they type it in, you can do divorce lawyer. If the specific order is very important, then you can type it like that. Or if just this specific keyword, you know the exact keyword that the person has to type in for your ad to show up, so you can do divorce lawyer. And if they type in this exact keyword, your advertisement will show up. But in this case, we're going to be fine with this plus in the front, which is called a broad match modifier. These are more kind of nuanced, advanced topics. We'll hit save and continue. And now we're going to create our ad. So we can see that the phone number has already been entered. We'll do keyword insertion here. So I'll explain keyword insertion in a second. Divorce lawyer in your area. Free phone consultation. So under business name, we want to put the actual business name of the website that we're going to use. So in this case, PPCBasic.com. And under the description, we can copy this and paste it. And then we'll edit in the front. Free consultation with a divorce lawyer. Call now to find a divorce lawyer. So what keyword insertion does is that if someone types in the word divorce lawyer in whatever order, then your ad will show up as saying divorce lawyer in your area. If someone types in the word divorce attorney, then your ad will show up as saying divorce attorney in your area. If someone types in divorce law, then your ad will show up as saying divorce law in your area. So keyword insertion is highly, highly essential and very important if you want to minimize the cost of your ads, because Google will show exactly what the person is looking for. And when the person sees exactly what they're looking for, they tend to click more on your ad, therefore reducing the cost of your bids. So the display URL, this is typically where you put your website address. So we'll just do this again. And for the verification URL is where you put your phone number on your website. So I'll show you what I mean. So to verify that this phone number actually exists and is owned by our business, we put in the website where that phone number is located. So if you type in this address, ppcbasic.com/call-verification, you will end up on this page. It's a very, very, very extremely simple page that simply has the phone number. This is all that Google needs to see using their robot to assess that you actually own the phone number. Or of course, if you have an actual website that has the phone number on it, then you can put that into the website itself. This is just a very quick template, a dummy template that I built using Optimize Press 3.0. And you can see it looks very professional, but at the same time, our phone number is here. So if we did a call verification -2, then the Google robot would go on the website, see that the phone number is there, and that would be it. So for conversion action, I've already created a conversion action, but in this case, we're going to do this in momentarily. So this is where we're going to assess what is considered a conversion for our business. So we'll hit done. Save and continue. Continue to campaign. And we'll end up back at the Google Ads interface. And you can see we're at the ad group level. If we click on the ad group, we will end up on the keywords. So here's your keywords. You'll see how many clicks you have here, how many people have typed in the search query and your ad has shown up, your click-through rate, which is your CTR, your average cost per click, okay? And the overall cost that you've paid for your clicks as well as conversions. So what we need to do now, we'll go into ads, and you can see this is where our ad is going to show up, and this is what it's going to essentially look like. But first we need to add a conversion. So we'll go into the tools and settings at the top right, and we'll go into conversions. Okay, so we're going to create a new conversion. We're going to select phone calls, and we're going to select calls from ads using call extensions or call only ads. We're going to hit continue. Conversions, so divorce lawyer, 120 seconds. If your phone call has a value that you would associate with how much you could potentially get paid per phone call, you can enter it here. So in this case, we'll do $60. Otherwise, if it's simply generating leads and we're not sure of the actual conversion rate of those leads, we can select don't use a value, but in this case, we'll do $60. We'll do count as 1 and the call length as not 120 seconds, but we want to do at least 125 because usually the first 5 seconds, 5 to 10 seconds is just empty air that no one's actually speaking on the phone. And then hit create and continue. Done. We'll go back to our campaigns. We'll go to the campaign level. We'll click on our campaign. We'll go to our ads and we're going to edit our ad once more. And here under conversion actions, we're going to select our new divorce lawyer conversion. So you can see divorce lawyer, 120 seconds. Save new version. So once someone calls this phone number, you will see one conversion going into place, and then you can also add a column to show how much you earned for that conversion. So if it's 2 conversions, you'll see $120, for 3, $180, etc., etc. So next up, we need to cover the interactive voice response system. And what is an IVR? Sometimes when you call a business, you might hear something like, welcome to business PPCBasic.com, press 1 for X, press 2 for Y, press 3 for Z, and that is basically what an interactive voice response system is. Now, according to the Google policy, when answering calls from users who've clicked on your call-only ad, advertisers must begin the call by stating their business name as it appears in their call-only ads. So this is a requirement, especially if you're going to run phone calls in bulk to a particular business. So you need to include the business name that you put in the advertisement into the interactive voice response system. And I'm going to show you what that sounds like. All right, so this is the back end of an interactive voice response system. If you've used Invoca in the past, you can actually unlock this feature as well. You can go under campaigns, and once you ask your manager to unlock the feature, you'll have this manage call promotions option. Then once you set up your interactive voice response system, you'll get this basic layout that you can select what the options are to do. And in this case, it starts off with asking a question. So I'll play that now. Welcome to PPCBasic.com. For all internet marketing related questions, please press 1. For all other questions unrelated to internet marketing, please press 2. So when they press 1, they get transferred to this phone number here. Please wait online while I transfer you to an internet marketing specialist. Have a wonderful day. But of course, if they press 2, then there's a pre-recorded message and then the system hangs up. Unfortunately, we do not accept unrelated internet marketing questions. Have a wonderful day. Now, because I run this through Invoca, the person that ends up paying for these transfers is actually the affiliate network itself. Essentially, if you're intending to run your own agency, then you'll have to use an interactive voice response platform, usually someone that sells phone numbers and has a back-end system, and then you'll essentially have to pay for not only the interactive voice system, but sometimes you'll also have to pay for the duration of the transferred phone call as well. So this is something that you have to keep in mind because some phone calls can range anywhere from 5 minutes all the way to perhaps 1 hour. So you have to judge appropriately what your costs are going to be if the phone call is going to be 1 hour long, for example. So either one, make sure that the company that you're transferring the phone calls to has an interactive voice response system in place, or two, if you're going to host your own interactive voice response system, make sure that you calculate the costs appropriately so that you understand how much you're actually paying. And as I stated, this is a requirement by Google. Now, this will typically go into effect if you're running phone calls in volume. So they will check that the business name is showing up when you're running more than, let's say, 200 or 300 phone calls per day. But of course, if you're simply a small business running perhaps 10 or 15 calls per day, then at least 1 or 2 of those phone calls should include the business name that you are promoting, whether it's yourself, whether it's for someone else, such as my friend who does construction. And lastly, we need to see what our customers will be searching for. So we can go into this keywords section and we can go into search terms. So here you will see the search terms that people typed into Google and ended up clicking on your advertisement. So this will eventually populate over time. It'll take about 24 hours sometimes for the list to populate, so be patient. And then finally, under negative keywords, this is the keywords that are perhaps not relevant to your business. So I'll show you how to do that. Add a negative keyword, and here we can do things like scam, spam, jobs. You know, that's another keyword that's unrelated to divorce lawyers, certification, general attorney, tort, or any other keywords that are perhaps completely irrelevant to your niche. Then you want to add them here. And we'll go ahead and hit save. And now if someone types in a keyword that has any one of these keywords in it, then your ad will not show up. So once your ad starts generating phone calls, you'll see the clicks once again. You'll see the impressions, which is how many times your ad showed up in total. You'll see the click-through rate, so it's clicks divided by the number of impressions. You'll see your average cost per click, your conversions as well. You can include the column to show how much you generated per conversion by selecting columns and then modifying columns. And then once you're in the modify columns page, you simply go to conversions and you can see all the different types of conversions that might be relevant to you. All right, so in summary, we're going to do a quick review. I covered the frequently asked question that I always get and a recommendation that I like to make. So once again, pay-per-call is very relevant if you're going to run it to legitimate businesses, but I highly recommend staying away from affiliate offers because you do risk getting suspended by Google because they are cracking down on shady gray hat or even black hat call centers. And those are typically associated with affiliate offers. We created an account. We set up our campaign settings. We covered audiences very briefly. So these are groups that Google puts people into in order to essentially increase your conversion rate for the clicks and to make sure that the keyword queries are relevant to what you are advertising for. We designed our keywords. So we did a broad match modifier keywords, which included the plus, which is what I highly recommend. We designed our ads, and I always like to do keyword insertions into the ads themselves to make sure that they're hyper relevant to what people are searching for on Google. We did a phone page verification, and that simply involves making sure that your phone number is on your website that you are going to use in your ad copy. And then we covered the interactive voice response system requirement by Google, and this simply requires that your business name is in the phone call itself. And then we briefly touched on search queries, where to find them, the negative keywords that you can type in to make sure that your ad does not show up for those negative keywords, and then a brief performance overview, as well as how to add the conversion metrics into your table. So Leonidas here from PPCBasic.com. If you enjoyed that video, make sure to like, subscribe, tap the notification bell, all that fun stuff. And also there is a free VIP Facebook group for PPCBasic.com that you can join. Simply go to PPCBasic.com and go through the email process, and then you'll be sent a link to the Facebook group. If you have any questions, feel free to ask them in the video, and hopefully you enjoyed that video, and I will see you in the next video. Salut.